Well, those unexpected changes to stamp duty come into force at midnight tonight and will affect the vast majority of people buying a home. Chancellor says the changes will mean a tax reduction for 98% of those liable. But for those buying property worth around £1 million or more, it'll mean a sharp rise in the amount of stamp duty they pay, as our business editor Kamal Ahmed explains.
They are our little castles, our homes, a repository of wealth as well as a place to grow old in. Today, for the vast majority of the population, joining the great British home ownership dream became that little bit cheaper.
They're going to save about £4,000. They're going to save about £5,000.
Bruce Collinson is an estate agent in Leeds. The reduction in stamp duty announced by the government is music to his ears.
Good news from start to finish. It should prove a fillip to the housing market which we need, and the system is going to be much fairer from now onwards.
Do you think things are going to pick up in the new year then, Nicola?
One of his customers, Max Nelson, who is buying and selling a home, is just as delighted.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's more money in our pockets. We need money at this time of year for Christmas, and obviously we've got new things to buy for our property that we're moving to, so it'd be great.
So, what do the changes in stamp duty actually mean? For an average family home worth £275,000, the saving will be £4,500. For an average London home worth £510,000, the saving will be nearly £5,000. At the top end of the housing market, stamp duty actually goes up. For a house worth £2 million, the cost rises by £53,000.
You've got the overlap between...
David Diggins is director of an estate agent in West London which sells homes with a starting price often above £2 million. He told me that worried customers have been calling in.
We spoke to a client today who's purchasing. It's an extra £28,000 for him in the purchase. So when you've done your budget, you've spent your survey fee and your legal fees, obviously you've got to take that into account.
There have been tales of buyers being dragged off golf courses to get their deals through, but they are the exception. The Treasury says that 98% of house buyers will be better off. They ring this bell every time they do a deal here at this estate agent. Now, George Osborne might think he's pulled off something of a political deal today. The government insists it is still dealing with the deficit, but this is a tax cut for millions of people who buy their own homes every year. The Chancellor knows that very few British governments would ever be kicked out of office for underestimating Britain's love affair with home ownership. The government's tax change is likely to give a small boost to house prices, which have been cooling recently. If that makes homeowners feel a little better off, then Mr Osborne, for one, will not be complaining. Kamal Ahmed, BBC News.